tell the truth. truth.
What's up? What's up, everybody? I want to thank you all for coming over to the channel today. Those that will watch this stream after it's over, and those that are coming in to watch the stream live. I don't really know what to say. I was shocked by last night's events. As you all watched, I watched CU, Colorado, went up 29-0 by halftime. And something started to unravel. During the course of the second half, I started to feel that the tide was shifting, and you could just feel the energy and the momentum going Stanford's way. And I said to myself, I'll be damned if Stanford wins this game. I'll be damned. And what tripped me out about this is that I did a stream, or we connected our channels, me and Dave Talk Buff, and shout out to him, had me on his channel for the second time, an interview, and I connected it to my channel. And all of you that heard that stream, you heard me say that Stanford is not a really good team in the second half, that most of their losses this year have come to them falling apart in the second half. And I said, God damn, that works to Colorado's advantage, because aren't we a second half team?
Tell the truth.
Don't we put up better numbers in the second half? Doesn't Shador, as he always liked to say, doesn't Shador go into what he calls Brady mode at that time, right? That he's going to take over the game, make things happen, wreck shop out there. But you start to see the momentum pull away from this team. And Coach Prime was not happy about it. I'm going to play video from Coach Prime expressing his frustration, the same frustration that he expressed when they won the game against Arizona State, but it came down to the wire. And he says, I've given them every speech I can give them. We have said everything we have said to them. We got to do better as coaches. We got to do better as players. And last night, Coach Prime, being the leader that he is, should I say, he said, this one you put on me. You blame this one on me. I'm going to say this, as they did attempt to run the ball last night, but I don't think it was enough. I'm going to make a bold statement here, and you can let me know if you agree with my statement by putting a 7 in the chat room, or whatever you want to say in the chat room, ladies and gentlemen. I believe one reason why they lost the game last night is because they got away from running the ball. When you have a lead like that, you want to run the ball, chew up clock. But because Colorado CU appears, in my opinion, to be one-dimensional at times, it allows the other teams to key off on what you're doing. If they could have just, with that lead, continued to pass the ball, yes, but control the game and the clock with the running game, that is tried and true. And if they could have mixed in the running game just a hell of a lot more than what they did last night, maybe, just maybe, they could have held off Stanford. Now, Coach Prime said himself that it was the secondary that was at fault last night in terms of they didn't play very well. They let too many guys get wide open. There were blown plays. I think there was a situation where they got that, what was it, 94-yard pass or something of that nature. I think it was a Amarion Cooper, number 3, the defensive back, he slipped. And you can clearly see it on the video that he was covering the receiver. He dropped, and when he dropped, the safeties had to run over like shallow and try to cover ground because you didn't have a defensive back running with him. At that point in time, Cooper slipped to the ground on turf. These things do happen in football. But even with that play, if you do not get a running game going consistently with what you're doing with pass, you once again remain a one-dimensional team, and therefore you open the door to the team that's behind to come back on you because all they've got to worry about is they're passing the ball like this. Then you witness over time Deion Sanders, as I put him up here, Deion Sanders began to get pressure on him where he was trying to scramble away from pressure, and that's where the makeshift offensive line is still time and time again is failing this team. Last night, we witnessed Deion Sanders run the ball and scramble to make something happen. They were saying on the telecast last night that he simply, if it isn't there, he's going to run to get those first downs. That's fine. His ability to move out of that pocket is wonderful. But once again, we witnessed last night a situation that was scary where at one point in time, it looked like Shador got up from a tackle and he didn't look too easy there. He didn't look like he looked like he was in some pain there. I'm concerned because after last night, I think Shador is ranked. It's a record. Nobody wants this record. I think during that game, he was 33rd or maybe 34 sacks. That's leading in the country. That is not going to get it. It's not going to work, folks. He cannot continue to endure this type of hits. And Coach Prime knows it. You know it. I know it. In the beginning of the game, like you all, I thought they had it in the bag. When you start seeing plays like this is under fair use for the purpose of educating, news reporting, parody, critical analysis. This is fair use, fair use, fair use. Watch this.
He understands that.
Just like that. Just like that. What do I mean by that? You figure out ways to get the ball to your key guys. That was a great play. There was some trickery involved in that. It was a reverse. Stanford wasn't ready for it, and Weaver just literally walked into the end zone. That's what I mean. Figure out ways to get the ball in the hands of your key playmakers. Have them play in the slot. Whatever you got to do.
Information is
power. This information is power. This is information. So whatever they got to do to get these guys involved, how do you all feel about that? Let me pull up some comments in the chat room. Hopefully my comment thing is working properly right now, and I can put in as like to conclusion of today's program. I hope everyone is doing fine out here, having a great weekend. I want you to have a great weekend. I want you to tell someone that you love them, people that you care about, because as I said before, brother Antonio, he lost someone that was dear to him, the receiver, number 4. He lost someone that was dear to him last night, and they reported that. And, firearm violence is something serious. So let me say, we got Franklin in the house saying good morning. Good morning to you. And hopefully this thing is going to work. Let me see. We got Lisa Moore who says, all in all, CU is still a good team. Yes, adjustments do need to be made, and Rome was not built in a day. And yeah, you're right. Oh yeah, you're absolutely right about what you're saying. Yeah, I agree with you. Rome was not built in a day. You're absolutely right. Now, this guy right here, Dunlap said, what coach brings back a player from injury and has them play both offense and defense? Shouldn't have started Kamani at cornerback. I would have liked to seen Kamani McLean in the game. I think he could have made a difference in their secondary. You just gotta play these kids. You gotta see what they can do because you're building something here. So I would like to see Kamani play as well. I don't know why Amari Miller was not out there. I mean, I was hoping to see him out there in a 4 or 5 wide receiver set, but we're not the coach. You know, like I said, I'm right now. The verdict is out on Sean Lewis as an offensive coordinator. I don't know. I have not been a fan of what I've been watching in terms of his play calling so far. So far. Let me come back in here and see if this is working now like it's supposed to. Let's see. Yes, let me see. Crime and Punishment TV says this team don't need to play man-to-man coverage. Zone would suit them better. They're not built for a man coverage yet. Okay, let me see here. Yeah, that's my whatchamacallit's not working for some reason. I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on. We got Smooth who says Kamadi's gonna get up out there, portal and load you can see it in his face. So you think that Kamani McLean's gonna leave CU? He might. I mean, if he's not happy and he's not willing to do what Coach Prime is expecting of him, then anything could be possible. Let me see. Harold says all that practice just to. Well, Coach Prime has already said if guys are not practicing properly to his standard, he's not going to play them. He's not going to throw them out there. Cover to Harmony. There are haters on here, but some people are saying some good football remark. Yeah, this is my thing. This is my thing about the chat room. I want people, if you got criticism, keep the criticism to football, not this personal stuff. I don't want to be blocked. I don't want to have to block people, in that chat room. It's your chat room. But I just think if you're going to have criticism, make it football related, not personal related. Period. Like, I think that the comment that the person left in there about, hey, will Kamadi leave CU and go through the transfer portal? I don't want to see it happen. But we don't control what these young men do, and we don't know what's in his mind. So that's a speculation. But that's a fair question to ask. See, I don't see that. I don't see that comment as a troll. That's not a troll comment. That's a fair comment because why? These kids can leave schools now. Just like you're going to have young men that are going to be leaving schools to come to Colorado. Colorado's going to look very different next season, 2024. They're going to be a very different looking team. You can bet that. And there might be some guys on this Colorado team right now that might decide to leave too because they're not happy with their playing time. This is just the way sports is. You can't make everybody happy. There's only so many starting slots. Love Win says some will leave. Yeah, that's just the nature of the ball. That's just the nature of things. You're absolutely right. Let me see. CJ says, I agree. I respect your channel on that. Yeah, brother. I mean, we can have honest dialogue without it being personal. Like when people start hating at Coach Prime, like that Jason Woodlock individual. You can tell when he talks about Coach Prime, it's all personal. It's all jealousy and personal. It's not football related. Stick to football related statements. When you start going personal, you're just wasting everybody's time. Because we're not over here to get into personal. We're over here to talk about football. Let's see. Let's see. I'm definitely not a troll. My pick is a buff helmet. Yeah. Nobody, a Smooth, Trey Smooth. Nobody's saying you're a troll. We know you're not a troll. But I don't mind people. I don't mind in my chat room. I like people to be able to have honest dialogue, respectful dialogue, where everybody can respect everybody, even if you disagree. Now, if people come over and they're being disrespectful to me or to you in the chat room, and they're saying things that's based on personal and not the football itself, now we got to get rid of somebody like that. You see what I'm saying? Other than that, I want dialogue in the chat room. All sorts, all sides should be talked about. HH4 says, enjoy that 46 piece you swallowed, Prime, in some coaching next game. See, this is what I'm talking about. HH4 says, I enjoy that 46 piece you swallowed, Prime, mixed in some coaching next game. Okay. Well, this is what I want you to do, HH4. Check this out, because I noticed that people got something to say when they lose a game, and when they win games, y'all ain't got nothing to say. Y'all quiet as church mouses. So if Colorado upsets UCLA and beats UCLA in a tight game, I want you to come over here and give them praise for beating UCLA. See, if you're going to come over here and say, oh, they took that 46 piece, they took that loss, then I want you to come back over here and have the same intensity and energy when they beat UCLA after they come out of this bye. If they beat UCLA, you're best to come back over here and have something to say about that. If you don't, I'll make sure that you never come back over here again. That's what I got. That's my challenge to you. If they win that game, you better come over here with the same intensity to praise them winning that game against UCLA and come back to the chat room. If you don't come back to this chat room if they beat UCLA to give them praise, believe me, you will be blocked. Because if you're going to play that, we can play games. I can play games too. Okay? Because I just noticed that people, you got to give them praise when they're winning as much as you're going to give them criticism, like you would do with any sports team. That's just being fair. Jackie Hell says, I'm not a Buffs fan. I'm here you don't have to be a Buffs fans to watch this channel. You don't have to be a Buffs fans to have an opinion. If you just like sports and if you just like football in general, it doesn't matter, sister. It doesn't matter, brothers and sisters in the chat room. You're more than welcome. Just make sure that you're making logical statements that's related to football and what's going on. Look, I'm the first to look. You don't see me running and ducking, right? Did you see me not go? Did I not go live today? I could have easily said, "Oh, I'm not going to go live because I'm going live." I've said it already. Whether Colorado CU wins or loses, I'm going live to talk about it. Good, bad, or ugly or different. I'm going to talk about it. And the truth of the matter is, it was hot trash in the second half, as Coach Prime would say. Coach Prime, and I played it today, said that how could they lose like this when they had a 29-0 lead? He said he has never been associated or a part of losing a game like that in his history of football. So Coach Prime's not using any excuses. I'm not making any excuses. I've been very clear that they're not running the ball enough. They got a makeshift offensive line. They've got problems. But I'm also aware that they have these problems because they don't have all the pieces to the puzzle on this team. And they're getting those guys that are going to be coming in over these next couple of years. And I want to see where all of you haters are going to be at when Coach Prime has all the dogs he needs. Then where are you going to be? I want you to have that same intensity. Because this is not a short-term ride. This is a long-term ride. Get on the train, get on the bus, whatever we want to call it, bandwagon, whatever you want to call it. Get on the bus and take a long-term trip. I'm not taking this trip for short-term. We're taking it for long term. That's the bigger picture here.
Tell the truth.
Let's see. We got Lion Mind says, bottom line, they don't have the talent on the offensive line to run the ball. And I have to agree with you. They have problems there.
Tell the truth.
Let me see here. We got Sleep says there are other black coaches that should be hyped up and doing a good job. Prime is not one of them at the moment. Well, no. You're completely wrong. You know why he's getting a lot of attention? Because this is the difference. Those other black coaches are not bringing more eyeballs to the TV set. Coach Prime is breaking box office numbers. That's why he's getting attention. Let's think about it. This is the problem with everybody. People keep putting too much emotions into Prime. Put logic into it. The reason why he's getting more attention because he's took over a team that went 1-11 and they're in better shape today than they were a year ago. He's also getting a lot of attention because ESPN is making money. Fox is making money. They're both fighting over who's going to have the rights to show his game every week. Because why? The damn ratings are off the chart. The merchandise is off the chart. What's happening in Boulder, Colorado has been off the chart. You got people who don't even really watch football that are watching because of Coach Prime. What is it doing for black coaches? Coach Prime is opening up the door for there to be other black coaches that are sort of like him to get a job. You're not looking at the bigger picture, Sleep, because you're being sleep. I'm sorry, I don't want to be smart here, but you got sleep in your name, and I got to be honest with you, you're kind of being a little sleepy. Wake up, like that movie, Do the Right Thing. Wake up. You're not seeing the bigger picture. That's why he's getting attention. None of those other black coaches are bringing that type of sway to their program. None of those black coaches are bringing in them numbers. More people are watching college football this year because of Prime, and more money is being generated because of Prime and excitement over the game from the average casual fan or people that weren't even fans of football because of Prime. None of those other black coaches have done that. That's why they're not getting the same attention that he's getting, right? And we live in a world where money talks and bullshit walks. So Sleep, I didn't mean to be trying to be smart, but I'm saying you're being a little sleep on the bigger picture. Just want you to know that. But you're welcome here to give your commentary, to have your different perspective. You're welcome to do that, okay? I don't want everybody thinking alike, but we got to use logic and not emotions. If y'all agree with my assessment right there, put sevens in the chat room. Let's see. Tell the truth. Yeah, tell the truth. That's right. Tell the truth. Lori Wynn says, tell the truth. Jen J says, HHRU, get it. Facts. But we got Patricia, who's one of my mods in the chat room. Thank you for being here. We got Roger. Oh, okay. Are you Roger fan? Are you trolling? Do not keep putting repeated messages in my chat room like that. Don't do it. Say what you got to say one time and say a different message, but don't put repeated zeros in there like that. When I tell people to put sevens, because it's a reason why we put sevens in there. But when you come in there and you put 000 over and over again, now you're spamming. You're spamming. Don't do it. You're welcome here, but don't spam. No sevens. I love the sevens. Seven is a spiritual number, and there's a reason why we always use the number 7 around here. That number is welcome. And there's a reason why people are putting sevens in there. And I appreciate you all for being here again. Let me, my message board is not working, or I would be able to pull up your messages on my screen. It's not working for some reason. I've got to get that. I got to look at what's going on in the laboratory. We got Shade, what was it? Shades 555. CU Buffs will go 8-4 or 7-5 this year, which will be enough for them to get into a little bowl game, right? Right. So we just gotta, like, what? Somebody said this a week ago. We gotta slow down, catch our breath. Musa, relax, bring it down. Realize this is just the first year of Coach Prime and his coaches at CU. They're building something for the future, which means this year into next year and a year after that. Give it time. When Nick Saban took over Alabama, they were a terrible football team. It took Nick Saban about 3 or 4 years to get Alabama to where it is now. What did they say? Rome wasn't built in a night? Something like that, okay? Give it time, give it time. And you guys got to be honest here. If Shador had a dominant offensive line, if Shador had a superb, just a superb offensive line, do you know what kind of numbers he could put up? If he put up 400 yards last night with 2 TDs, could you imagine what Shador could do if he had an offensive line that was a little bit better than what he has right now? Do you know what his numbers would be like, folks? It would be off the charts. Off the charts. What do you all think? What do you all think? Give your thoughts in the chat room. Let me see. E. Rogers says Shador doesn't need an elite offensive line. He just needs it to be average. That's a good point, but I would rather have an elite offensive line than an average offensive line. That's just me. But I get what you're saying, E. Rogers. He just needs something comfortable. I get what you're saying. But I'm just my point in a nutshell, brother, is just that if his offensive line was just a little bit better, basically what you're saying too, we're on the same page, that he would put up, his numbers would be off the charts. If y'all agree with me, put 7s in the chat room. I appreciate you all coming over and having your opinions, your thoughts. Let's see. Negro says, not a good point. Why is that not a good point? Because the offensive line is the heart of a football team, is it not? See, I don't want to see. I'm not going to get in. I don't want to get into emotions. I want to get into logical thought here. Yes, people, put a 7 in the chat room if I'm correct or right. The offensive line is the heart of a football team. It's the beat of a football team. If he had a better offensive line, or if his offensive line was a little bit better, he would not be getting sacked as much. Even though he says he holds on to the ball too long, that's what Shador says. He's got to do better at that. That's according to what he says. If his offensive line was a little bit better and he had better protection and more time to throw the ball, his numbers would be better. You number 33 in the country at being sacked. That's very logical, what I'm saying. If what I'm saying is logic, put 7s in the chat room. Or maybe I just misunderstood your text in the chat room. And if I did, forgive me. Charge it to the mind, not the heart. But I'm just thinking that that's the key to any football team, which is why he's getting sacked as much as he's being sacked, which is why he can't make certain when he's not getting enough time to make the plays that he wants, to read what the defense is doing, to see who's open and read through its progressions. Because the offensive line, whether the offensive line is not physically capable, or according to Big Dog Chico, maybe the offensive line needs better film study, or is it that they just don't have the physical gifts? No matter how much film study they got, I don't know. I don't know. We're all trying to figure it out. We're all trying to figure this out together. Dave Powell says, why not throw the ball away? Right. Well, that's a good point. But Shador has said on several occasions that he needs to throw the ball away, that he's been holding on to the ball too long. Now, Shador has been very honest in saying exactly what I just said. So we know there's nothing that I'm making up, you're not making up, because Shador himself says he's holding on to the ball too long. And what scared me about last night, and let me know if it scared you, there was a moment when I thought Shador got hurt. There was a moment when he got tackled last night, when he got up, and he didn't look too good. They even said that on the commentary last night of the game. Let's see. L.A. Price says, quit buying cars and other things and study, change that attitude. You know, L.A. Price, you make a good point. This is why you make a good point. Guess who said the same? I ended up watching or listening to a podcast with Tom Brady, Coach Prime, and they had Shador on it. It was on Sirius XM Radio, I think the NFL channel or Mad Dog Radio. And Tom Brady, who's been mentoring Shador, said live on radio with Coach Prime there and Shador, hey, do you know anybody at his age and this level that has a Maybach car? And Tom Brady said Shador needs to stop worrying about the watches and cars and get his ass. This is what Tom Brady said, and get his ass in the study room, in the film room, or what do they call it nowadays? Video room? Because, you know, they don't use film anymore. Only people that say that word is old folks like me. I'm 53 years old, right? I've been watching football since I was a kid. They used to say film, but they don't look at film anymore. They look at video, right? They look at laptops or they look at tablets to look at to look at what's going on. But Tom Brady himself said that Shador needs to worry less about the physical things, cars and watches, and worry more about getting his ass. This is what Tom Brady said, getting his ass in the room to study the, what's going on with his opponents and the offense and what have you. Guess what? I agree.
Tell the truth.
I give it a clap. If you agree, put sevens in the chat room. You know? It is what it is, folks, but it's the truth. Good points, good points. You see, you want us as a fan to stay consistent, then you stay consistent. Hey, I will stay consistent. Let me see. Harold, are you talking about me as a content creator, or are you talking about the football team themselves being more consistent when they play their football games? Because I'm being as consistent as possible. I've been willing to give critical analysis to what I think is wrong with this football team. And what I just said a few minutes ago was said to Shador by Tom Brady, and it was encouraged by his father, Coach Prime. So I hope we're on the same page there. Maybe you're talking about the football team being more consistent. Let me know. Explain what you're saying, because I'm being very consistent as possible. Now, am I going to say that they can win games? When you hear me say, hey, they can win, they can do this and that, it's because I believe. What do you see on my screen here right next to me? It says right underneath, right above the logo, believe. When I talk them up before they play a game, it's because just like you all in the chat room, I believe just like you believe. And when they lose, I'm very disappointed, but I also have to be honest about why they lost the game. What was the glaring weaknesses? What's the inconsistencies? Maybe that's what you're talking about, Harold. And if you are, we're on the same page, brother. We're not on the off the page. We're on the same damn page. Let me see. Nick Hawk says that's what they get for shaving off their mustaches. Shaving off their mustaches. Okay. We got Filling in the house, says the offensive play call were horrible. See, this is another thing too. And I want y'all to put sevens in the chat room if y'all agree or disagree with me. I'm starting to not have a lot of confidence with Sean Lewis. I don't particularly care for Sean Lewis, the offensive coordinator. I don't like his play calling. Remember when they were running, remember when they went out there and they had that stacked line trying to run the ball? They ran it one time and Stanford stopped it. Then they ran the same formation again and Stanford already knew what to expect and they stopped it again. I didn't like that. The team already knew what y'all was about to do. Change the formations, change. So I don't know. I just haven't been very confident in what I've been seeing out of Coach Sean Lewis as the offensive coordinator of this team in the play calls that he's called. I don't know. If I'm right about what I'm saying, put sevens in the chat room. If you got a difference of opinion, write down your thoughts. Eric Good says 7. Mark is in the house, says, see why people don't believe. No, I believe. But every football team, every team in sports will have some flaws. And particularly they're gonna have flaws when they just been put together like this team. And remember, I gotta say this. It's not excuses, it's the truth. Colorado is going up against teams that have been together longer than they have. So they're going up against teams that have chemistry, guys that have played together longer, offensive lines that have played together longer, defensive lines, secondaries. This team has not played together long enough to have the type of chemistry that a team like Oregon or UCLA or USC, who beat them, would have. When you got guys that have been playing together since sophomore year, freshman year, junior year, and now they're seniors or what have you. Like I said, I believe in using logic, not emotions, when I look at what's happening with CU right now. Even though I felt bad about them losing. HH4 said 17. Yes, HH4. 17 penalties was unacceptable. You are absolutely right. I am 100% with you on that. You get no argument out of me. That's unacceptable. And you heard Coach Prime also say that it was unacceptable to him. Let's go to the next person here. CJ said last year's Buff team can beat this. No. I disagree with you, CJ, respectfully. I think this year's Colorado team could easily beat last year's team because last year's team did not have any skill position players. They didn't even have half of the receiving core. Matter of fact, last year's CU team didn't even have a quarterback at the level of Shador. And you know Shador is leading the nation in various statistics, sir. So I disagree with you. Because if last year's team was so much better than that, if last year's team could beat this year's team, what's the record for last year's team? They only won one game, 1-11. How many games has Colorado won so far this year under Coach Prime and these players? They are currently 4-3, and they should be 5-2. And they could have beaten USC a week ago, or 2 weeks ago, down the stretch, if it wasn't for, in my opinion, bad play calls. So using logic again, I have to say that your position, sir, because I'm not getting into emotions, your opinion or your thoughts of that position that you have, I respectfully disagree based on what we can already see. Statistically, they're a better team than last year's team statistically. And their record is currently better than last year's team, and the season ain't even over yet. Their attitude is better than last year's attitude. The reason why Coach Prime had to get rid of some of those players from last year's team, because some of them weren't serious about football. Some of them were bringing radios to the meetings and doing all sort of other stuff. He had to get rid of them. Some of them weren't very good. If Coach Prime had took over last year's team and not brought these guys in, guess what their record would be right now? Same as it was. They would be what right now? They would be 0-5. Tell the
truth. Tell the truth.
Logic over emotion. All right. Let me see, man. All the teams probably be having radios and stuff. Well, we don't know. We're not in their locker rooms. Let me see. Trey Smooth says, I'll take last year's offensive line over now. Okay. Hang on, folks. Let me put a little music on for you. I'll be back in just a moment. All right, everybody, I'm back. Let's read some more messages in the chat. This is a good discussion we're having, and I like the fact that people are making honest statements. Let me see. CJ says better talent last year in college football. Okay. All right, CJ, you made a good point there. Yeah, there was a lot of great talent in college football last year as well. Let me see. Carmen says the offense cannot burn clock with a 29-point lead. The offensive coach changes need to be made before next season. So you believe that Sean Lewis should be replaced as the offensive coordinator. Ramon Charles put 777, so he agrees with my premise today. Thank you. Appreciate it. Patricia's in the house. She says Shador needs an elite line. Yeah, that's why I said I want elite. Okay? Because if you got an elite offensive line, then he wouldn't have to run around like he does at times to make something happen like he did yesterday in the opening of that game, right? He was very determined that he was not going to squander opportunity, and so he took off and scrambled and made some big plays in the second half, and then things got a little tight in the first half, but then things got tight in the second half of that ball game, and I just want the best for this football team, you know. And I appreciate all of you here. What's going on, Michael? Let's see. Jane G says the best story told are about those who get back up, re-strategize. The Buffs all bigger and better than what has already passed. Now let's go. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, they're going to get better, folks. I agree with that. They're going to learn from these experiences. The coaching staff's going to learn. Coach Prime is learning. He's actually learning about his team in so many different ways that's very difficult for him to have to deal with, but it's going to help them to be better. Let me see. Mark says, pay $3 million, and I will coach Colorado. I can't do any more. Okay. Dexter says it's only Deion's first. Yeah, right. Let's stop jumping ahead of ourselves, folks. It's only his first year with this team. They're going to get better. And contrary to popular belief, they're actually a better team than they were last year. And they have a better record so far than they had last year. We could very well be talking about a team that's 5-2 right now. And I said this earlier before some of you came over, especially if they would have won last night's game. Do you know that Colorado would only be 2 wins away from an automatic eligibility for a bowl game? Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
We got April Don in the house. What's going on, my sister? Give you a clap. Hey, it's okay. I'm glad you're here. I'm about to end the program, though, but because I know everybody, is busy. Everybody's enjoying their Saturdays with their family. And I don't want to hold anybody up. I just appreciate the fact that you guys come over, you watch the videos, you watch my uploaded videos, you share the videos, you watch the shorts. I really appreciate it. We're at what are we at now? We're at 25,000 subscribers. Look like we're going to get to 26 pretty soon. And it's all because of you all out there supporting, watching the videos, giving your comments. I love your comments. I try my best to get to as many comments as I can. I got so many comments that sometimes it's hard to get to all of them because there's so many of them coming in. But that also shows me that you got everybody out there in the chat room and listening, you all are engaged in what's going on. And I appreciate you very much for being engaged like you are. We got iGain FTW says, because this might be the most embarrassing loss in college this year. Well, I have to agree that it is an embarrassing loss. And it may be one of the most, but we can't say that yet because the whole season hasn't, using my logic, the whole season hasn't played itself out. I do think it is a bad loss from a personal level for Coach Prime and his team because they were up 29-0. And you would think that they could have just kept putting the gas pedal down on Stanford. And when you got a team down like this, you can't let up off the gas pedal. You have to jam that gas pedal and keep that car running over. Let me see here. We have, let me see. Travis Hunter needs to stop with that two-way cap. Playing two ways? Okay, well, you're only, see, this is why we gotta use more logic. Nobody said that when he was playing against TCU both ways and he made some things happen. So we didn't have a problem with Travis Hunter playing both ways when they were winning games. And now that he comes back from being injured and he plays both ways and they lose a game, now we want to say he should stop playing both ways. That doesn't make sense. Because if they would have won this game last night, nobody would be saying Travis Hunter should not play both ways. Y'all would have been talking about, oh my God, Travis Hunter. Oh my God, look at his numbers. Travis Hunter got 13 receptions for 140 yards and 2 TDs. Longest reception, 24. Travis Hunter is a stud. You all would be saying that right now. I believe in being logical, not emotional. People are only going to have that thought because they lost the game. And because he came off of being injured where he was out for quite some time. So now people question whether he was in condition. I personally say, again, that you really get better when you're playing the game. The game is going to get him back to where he was at the beginning of the year, which is why Coach Prime said himself, a bye is for when you have injuries. A bye doesn't help a team when they're trying to fix their problems on the field. You want to play the games to get better, not set back for a week now with no game activity. So, I'm using logic here. Larry says this, based on the comments, some of the people in this room have probably never played football in their life. Well, it's not just football. How many people have played organized sports? Like I played basketball. So people who have played organized sports growing up, high school, college, we tend to have a different point of view about these things. Because why? Because we've played sports. We've played team sports ourselves. Now, that doesn't mean that we've played professional football or college football. But if you've played organized sports, then you know how these things work. So that's why that was a very good comment that you left. CJ says, the hater said it and we was right again. Let me see. Oh, sheep, not sleep. I apologize. You got the last name SHEEP. I'm going to say that right. In 2 weeks, Colorado will be 4-4. Well, Colorado is going to go up against a very tough UCLA team Then they got to go against a very tough Oregon State team. And then they've got Utah. If they don't clean some of their problems up, it's going to be very tough. If they don't clean their problems on their team up, the problems that are hurting them in games, it's going to be rough. All three of those teams can play some damn football. I'm just being honest here. But that doesn't mean that I don't believe that CU can't beat those teams if they're playing their best football. And I got to be honest, just like Coach Prime always says, he has yet to see their best football. We have yet to see their best football. Now, in our minds, their best football was the game against TCU. Yes, because nobody expected that. But even then, Coach Prime has said that they got to put it together offensively, defensively, and special teams. So I'm still waiting to see them put a complete game together. Could they put a complete game together against the next three opponents? UCLA, Oregon State, a Utah? Very possible. A Washington State? Very possible. Because you got to believe until you see otherwise. Let me see. Larry, thanks for coming in. Dexter says ESPN picked Colorado to win 2 games this year. Wow, only 2 games. That's ESPN. Let's see. Rhonda Mills, Sister Mills is in here, and she says Shador did get hurt. Yeah, he got hurt. Yeah. I think Shador was hurt yesterday too. And that's what I'm concerned about. That's what I'm going to continue to be concerned about for this whole season, because he's been sacked 33 or 34 times, which is the highest number of sacks that a quarterback has taken. It's a damn record. It's got to be cleaned up. It's got to be addressed. Now, let's keep it real. This isn't the NFL where they could just go out and make a trade and get some other lineman, and they can't do that. They can't even bring in someone right now. No, they have to play this season out, go through a full season, and then during the offseason of college football, then maybe when the NCAA says this is the time period that you can sign young men that are transfers, it's going to take time, folks. We're going to have to deal with what we got right now, but keep this in mind. Coach Prime, there were at least 2 guys on that offensive line that were put in there to replace other guys. And in the beginning of the game, when they went up 29-0, we have to be honest, the offensive line did a pretty good job when they were putting up those points, but then everything fell apart in the second half. If you agree with that assessment, put a 7 in the chat room as I get ready to come to a conclusion of this stream today. Let me see. Jen J says he's about to have the punt return team on the offensive line. Woo! All right, everybody. That's all I got for you today. Be on the lookout for me to. I'll be uploading some videos. Some uploaded videos, some short videos to talk about other issues that surrounds this football team, Coach Prime, and the players. So I'll be dropping some more videos for your watching pleasure and enjoyment. Make sure you share this video right now, this live stream, in all of your social media. Tell people about the channel. I appreciate you. Love you for coming over and supporting the channel today. We'll do this again very soon. And remember, they got a week bye, so we won't see any action next weekend, but we'll see what happens the weekend after that. And while we're waiting for them to play their next game against UCLA, I will be dropping more short form content like the shorts, and I will be dropping short videos that you can get into and watch and get out of very quickly and enjoy. So with that said, everybody, let me get ready to get on out of here and hit the... Thank you, everybody. Peace. And that's what it is, folks. Peace. One,
just a
two,
flat-out hater.
three.
If you can't see what's going on and what's going to transpire over the next several months, something's wrong with you. And because we understand what's coming. You got to understand we're going to win right now, not later. Right now. I don't know if y'all know it, but we're going to win. I don't know if you feel it, but we're going to win. I don't know if you can see it, but we're going to win. You got to understand we're going to win right now, not later. Right now. I don't know if y'all know it, but we're going to win. I don't know if you feel it, but we're going to win. I don't know if you can see it, but we're going to win. You got to understand we're going to win right now, not later. Right now. I don't know if y'all know it, but we're going to win. I don't know if you feel it, but we're going to win. I don't know if you can see it, but we're going to win. You got to understand we're going to win right now, not later. Right now. I don't know, but we're going to win. I don't know if you feel it, but we're going to win. I don't know if you can see it, but we're going to win. You got to understand we're going to win right now, not later. Right now. I don't know if y'all know it, but we're going to win. I don't know if you feel it, but we're going to win. I don't know if you can see it, but we're going to win. You got to understand we're going to win right now, not later. Right now. I don't know if y'all know it, but we're going to win. I don't know if you feel it, but we're going to win. I don't know if you can see it, but we're going to win. You got to understand we're going to win right now, not later. Right now. I don't know if y'all know it, but we're going to win. I don't know if you feel it, but we're going to win. I don't know if you can see it, but we're going to win. You got to understand we're going to win right now, not later. Right now. I don't know if y'all know it, but we're going to win. I don't know if you feel it, but we're going to win. I don't know if you can see it, but we're going to win. You got to understand we're going to win right now, not later. Right now. I don't know if y'all know it, but we're going to win. We're going to win. I don't know if you can see it, but we're going to win. You got to understand we're going to win right now, not later. Right now. I don't know if y'all know it, but we're going to win. I don't know if you feel it, but we're going to win. I don't know if you can see it, but we're going to win. You got to understand we're going to win right now, not later. Right now. I don't know if y'all know it, but we're going to win. I don't know if you feel it, but we're going to win. I don't know if you can see it, but we're going to win. You got to understand we're going to win right now, not later. Right now. I don't know if y'all know it, but we're going to win. I don't know if you feel it, but we're going to win. I don't know if you can see it, but we're going to win. You got to understand we're going to win right now, not later. Right now. I don't know if y'all know it, but we're going to win. I don't know if you feel it, but we're going to win. I don't know if you can see it, but we're going to win. You got to understand we're going to win right now, not later. Right now. I don't know if y'all know it, but we're going to win. I don't know if you feel it, but we're going to win. I don't know if you can see it, but we're going to win. You got to understand we're going to win right now, not later. Right now. I don't know if y'all know it, but we're going to win. I don't know if you feel it, but we're going to win. I don't know if you can see it, but we're going to win.